Oh, we got a Phoenix! Oh, I'm so excited. So, yeah, let's get this thing into play. Let's play the sword. Equip the sword. Today on Commander Replay, we check out the deck that I'm most excited for from Phyrexia 1, Otharri Phoenix Tribal. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Otharri Sun's Glory Phoenix Tribal today. Let's take a look at this opener. 5 lands plus card draw. That's a weird hand. Let's see what everyone else is playing. I think we're okay with this, actually, based on what I know of our opponent's decks. I'll go ahead and keep this. I think I'm cheating on a land or two in this deck, so the fact that we have land, yeah, 34 with a flip land, I think, yeah, it's 35, yeah. Things could get a lot worse. Things could get much, much worse into a mulligan. Now, we're just going to pray that we don't draw more lands, at least for a couple turns. I've had that happen a few times, and that's never great, but we've got Showdown of the Scalds, a really good card. Just so good, it's cheap, it's easy to put in your deck. It just, this card, I don't want to say it overperforms, but it does a lot relative to its cost in paper. Chaos Warp is very reasonable. I'll play Sacred Foundry tapped, and we'll pass like that. So anyway, yeah, Showdown isn't like Rhystic Study or anything. It's not just going to like win you the game with card draw, but it keeps you from getting stuck, and it pumps up your creatures a little bit. Even getting, 2 or 3 counters on a critical creature, that damage can be very relevant, especially with Voltron, especially with anything that wants to attack. If you're in red and white, you probably want to be attacking. I mean, even sometimes just for blocking too, right? You just need a bigger blocker. I don't know. Assume you were playing like Fire Song or Sunspeaker. You're probably not attacking with that, but if you turn it into like an 8/9 or something like that, it's going to deter quite a few things on the ground, so that's cool too. Yeah, just a really solid card. Jeweled Lotus appears to be bugged or something? Huh. This is going to be a nightmare to read. We'll do that later. Let's take a look at what we're playing. It's Otharri Sun's Glory. 5 mana for a 3/3, flying lifelink haste. Love the keywords. Whenever it attacks, you get an experience counter, then create a 2/2 rebel creature token that's tapped and attacking for each experience counter you have. Pay 4, tap an untapped rebel, return Otharri from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Yep. A lot of really good abilities. The whole army in a can thing is very, very powerful. We're not so much focused on that today. Today we are focused on the Phoenix Tribal thing. This commander doesn't necessarily lend itself to being really good with Phoenix Tribal, but like one of the things I have in here is I have like Gold Knight Commander and Cathar's Crusade. So if you have a couple Phoenixes in play, and then you attack with Otharri, and you have one of those other things, your Phoenixes are going to get huge, along with everything else is going to get huge. So it's not terrible. It's not like the way Gargos is with Hydras or anything like that, but it still has an ability that we can kind of use to help our Phoenixes out a little bit, so that is cool. I do like that. There's a Enlightened Tutor. Ooh. Play a Plains right here. Thinking about what to do with that Enlightened Tutor, I'm not entirely sure yet. Soul Ring is always good. Mask of Memory is nice. I think I cut the equipment count. Maybe it went back up a little bit. Got Truth and Justice, Forge and Frontier. Staff of Completion's in the deck. That's a nasty one. I do want to run that one. I haven't really seen it yet. Giada, Font of Hope coming in. In some sense, we're probably lucky that this is bugged just because, like turn 1 or 2 commander. It's just really nasty. We do have a ban on Mana Crypt on the channel. Haven't really done anything about Jeweled Lotus, but most people don't really run it, so I haven't really felt the need to kind of talk about it. Jeweled Lotus is good, but it's not nearly as powerful as Mana Crypt. I mean, it's powerful on maybe like the first 3 turns. After like turn 4 or turn 5, it's good, but like not backbreaking. Oh, we got a Phoenix! Oh, I'm so excited. So, yeah, let's get this thing into play. I already filmed 1 game with this, and it went okay, but it didn't go amazing. And so, one of the things that I wanted to get a look at was a bunch of the 3 mana Phoenixes, and in that game, I drew literally 0 of them. Now, a little bit of that was my fault because I didn't have enough card draw in the deck, so I kind of just ran out of cards at some point. Someone shot the Mask of Memory, and that was all kinds of terrible. Read the Bones for opponent. Nice little card. So, that game was okay, but I just left the game with this feeling of like, I did not accomplish what I wanted to accomplish in that game, and like, it's not that I necessarily need to win, but I just wanted to see a bunch of these like 3 mana Phoenixes, and I didn't, and that was super disappointing. So I tweaked up a bunch of things, and now I'm back taking another crack at it, and I think this list is going to be a lot tighter than what I originally ran out here that you guys probably won't even see, at least until, like, I'll probably save that video for a rainy day or something like that. But I don't think I mentioned it yet. This is actually the deck that I am most excited to play from Phyrexia 1. I saw this thing, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's a legendary Phoenix! I have long been wanting to build Phoenix Tribal, and I made like a really bad attempt at it years ago. It's probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I tried it with Doretti, because I'm like, yeah, some of them have graveyard ability, should be okay. Right? It was not good. They've definitely printed a bunch of Phoenixes over the past couple years, because at that point, I don't know, there were probably at least like 6 or 7 less Phoenixes, and some of the more decent ones are actually recent. So, you know, that tribe has gotten bumped up a lot. Back then, you really just didn't even have enough creatures to kind of fill out the tribe, and I'm not one that loves to go in on changelings, you know, just kind of like, changelings don't excite me, Phoenixes excite me. Alright, we got 2 monuments coming in for opponent. We got an Oketra's Monument from Jenka, and Ronas Monument from Sean. Those are both really good cards. We have the red one in here. Did I put the white one in? I might have put the white one in. No, just the red one, because like almost all of our creatures are red in this deck. There were some white creatures for value that I think I eventually cut at some point. Another Phoenix! This one doesn't have haste. That's okay, though. We're just going to run it out there. Just going to run it out there. This one turns things into day and night, which is not something we really care about with this deck, but it's a 4/2 Flying Phoenix. Opponent did poke us with the Giada on their turn, by the way. I think I was talking about something while that happened. It is now day. I should actually read these, because a lot of the Phoenixes are really similar, but a little bit different from each other. Like, the idea is all kind of the same, that they come back in weird ways. And then most of them have Flying and Haste. This one is Flying Haste, 2/0 Fire Breathing for 3 mana, which is a little costly, but escape 4, exile 3 other cards from your graveyard, and if it escapes, it comes in with a +1/+1 counter. So you gotta escape to bring this one back, which is better and worse. What is notable about this one is that you can block with it. Some of them don't block super well. Well, there's a Playcrafter coming in, and it's going to eat a few things. What does this one do? If it's neither day or night, it becomes day or night. And when it becomes night or night becomes day, you may pay 2. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Someone would need to cast no spells during their turn in order for that. That's like it's not the easiest condition to meet. The escape one, at some point, will be easier to get back. I think we sacrifice this guy for now. I guess that's more likely to... I mean, I guess we could, like... I don't know. We'll figure it out. There might be a turn in which we could, like, hold up interaction, hold up the instant speed stuff, and then do this thing. Let's take a read of this one while it's in our hand. Firestorm Phoenix is 6 mana, 3/2, flying. If it would die, return it to its owner's hand instead. Until that player's next turn, that player plays with the card revealed in their hand and can't play it. It's not terrible. Just gotta wait till next turn to recast it. 6 mana, 3/2, flying, though, is a little overcosted. And that is true with a lot of the older Phoenixes. They're like 6 mana, 3/2, 6 mana, 3/4. It's just like, ugh. Definitely overcosted that by like easily 1 or 2. A lot of them probably 2. I mean, yeah, like this. This would be perfectly reasonable at 4 mana, and even then probably wouldn't see play in a lot of places. Giada coming in, and there is a warrior token. Volrath coming in, yep. He's got some choices here. Shooting the 1/1, always a decent idea. Puts the counter on Giada. Yeah, it's not an awful idea either. Get that out of play. Not fearing our Phoenix in this moment. Love it. There's a Shivan Phoenix. When it dies, return it to its owner's hand. Yeah, there's the 6 mana 3/4 for you. I have a lot of thoughts. Let's start by playing the land. That's going to be the easy part. We could go Otharri, which is sort of like the powerful route. I know what we're going to do. Here's the plan. I think the plan is going to be, we'll get this back to our hand, and then we'll Enlighten Tutor and sit on Chaos Warp, and then we will... I think we're going to get an Urza's Incubator because we have the 2 6-drop Phoenixes in our hand, plus our Commander, because we do kind of need some ramp. We haven't really been ramping. Actually, Sword of Forge and Frontiers seems so interesting, though. But at some point, we also need to get to the Showdown of the Skalds, because we're gonna miss a land drop if we do that. Not thrilled about that. Maybe, you know what we can do? We can showdown and then Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, that's not the worst idea. We won't be able to get the thing back, but that's okay. I'm doing this now, which is a little awkward because we probably can't cast anything, nor can we cast a land. But I kind of want to see just so I can plan for what we need to do. There are 2 lands under there. Okay. We've got a Fault Line and a... Well, we can play the Phoenix chick. Yeah, might as well, right? Let's just get it into play. This takes care of our land drops, which I like. I'm going to set a stop for our upkeep, and then I'm going to... Man, I really want that Urza's Incubator, but now that we've spent our 1 piece of card draw, I think we need something that, like, draws cards a little bit more. Yeah, so maybe we are on a sword. Ooh, if we get the sword also, we'll be able to play a second land. So we go... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's actually a much better idea. Okay. Looks like it's going to be Sword of Forge and Frontier, I think is where I'm at. Opponent finally hardcasting their commander. Jeweled Lotus appears to be not working. We'll take a read of it. Shrugged it off earlier because the amount of text on this thing. Holy crap, here we go. 4 mana 3/5. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. If Mishra and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, and you both own and control them, exile them, meld them into Mishra lost to Phyrexia, it enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. So... it melds with Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Okay. This is a weird way to display this because it's also showing the other card, and I'm guessing that's why the Jeweled Lotus didn't work, because I'm sure something is very confused in the coding about what's supposed to be happening. I'm a software QA, by the way, so I test stuff like this. And then on the backside, it melds into Mishra Lost to Phyrexia is a 9/9. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. Oh my god. Target opponent discards 2 cards, does 3 damage to any target, destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Or create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. That is a lot of modes. That is a really powerful card on the backside. Now, looks like it might be kind of tricky to assemble and get it all put together, and definitely a lot of interaction points when you're trying to meld them together, but if you ever get it going, my, that is nasty. That is super, super nasty. Take a read of this one. Flying Haste, can't block. Oh, that makes me sad. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may pay red. If you do, return from the graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking with the +1/+1 counter on it. Boy, do I wish I could block. Righteous Valkyrie, yeah, the Angel Army is piling up over there. By the way, Mishra being piloted by Pauper R. Bust. Pauper loves themselves a red deck. I can support that. Yeah. Moving on, we've got Jenka in the middle piloting Giada Font of Hope. Saw a little bit of this deck in another video. I can't remember which one now, but this is a cool little budget Angels list that they have put together, and just kind of watching them play it kind of makes me want to play Giada Angels. There's a lot of really cool stuff with the +1/+1 counters, so even things that aren't like crazy scary start to get scary as you start getting more counters on them. Like this thing came in as a 3 mana 4/6. It's no joke. It's no joke. It's like we could have like a few turns ago we could have attacked into him at least like traded, and now that's way off the table. So yeah, it's a cool little ability. Giada is sweet. As far as mono white angel commanders go, I personally, opponent's gonna Volrath Rexiel back to the top. Yeah, I think this is his Helm's Deep deck, if I had to guess. But if I were gonna play mono white angels, I would either go with Giada or probably Bruna. Maybe Rhea. I like the reanimation more, because a lot of people like, what's her name? The one out of Dominaria there, Lyra Dawnbringer. And Lyra Dawnbringer is extremely cool, but she doesn't help you with the value as much. Giada helps a lot more with that. Bruna helps with the reanimation, which is kind of a form of value. So for my money, that's where I would go. And I counted. I've played 13 different iterations of Angel Tribal in my life. Most of them are on the channel. There's like maybe 2 or 3 that didn't make it to channel, but yeah, having played that many iterations of Angel Tribal, I have a pretty good feeling what's going on. Giada is a cool place to be in all of that. Now, you still have all the like typical mono white struggles, ramping, drawing cards, stuff like that. It's not the easiest for you, but equipment's gonna be your friends in mono white. Yeah, that's a 7/5 swinging over to Jenka, and they just take the hit. I mean, oh right, it's got a Prowler's Helm on it. Can't be blocked except by walls. That's not great. Watch out for that. Sean didn't cast anything. Oh, we can get it back. Oh, but we won't be able to do all the other stuff. No. Well, that makes me sad. We're gonna have to, we'll figure something out. Yeah, let's get Sword of Forge and Frontier. No, can't pay for the abilities. We have other stuff to do. Makes me so sad. So sad. So apparently Voltron decks are good with Sunstreak Phoenix because sometimes they just spend their entire turn equipping equipment. We go to mode 2 on Showdown of the Skulls, which is actually... It is very easy to underrate modes 2 and 3 on this card while looking at it. Like, you know, we have a 2-2 and a 1-1 right now, and they're both about to get pumped up a decent amount. So let's go ahead and play the Strip Mine. Let's play the Sword. We'll put a counter on... I guess we'll go on this one. Try to spread the size around a little bit. Equip the Sword. I should have did that the other way. Nah, crap. Well, too late now. Because this one can't block, so like, it's not really a point to leave it back. Although, sometimes people, like, even though it says it can't block, sometimes people just kind of forget. So, like, sometimes you just leave it there, and everything's fine. I'm going to hit Pauper right here. Oh, really? They're going to Deadly Rollick it? Oh, that's frustrating. At least it's not the Sword. We need the Sword to stick. That seems like a waste. I know it's value, but, like, it's not a Feast and Famine trigger, right? Like, it's okay, but... Oh, no, we still have no mana. We can't get it back. Oh, it makes me so sad. I mean, that's 2 more times than I thought we'd ever have to be able to get that back. 2 more chances, anyway. That's a Jessica's Will, yep. Man, Exile on our Phoenix, too. Probably should have went the other way in the sacrificing. Bitter Blossom. Their own Sword of Forge and Frontier. Not thrilled about that. Might Chaos Warp that out of spite. We'll see. We'll see. Although I don't know that we'll have the tempo to do it. Yep, equips it. They have a free shot in the... They have a free shot in the Sean, too. Commander's Plate. That's the one that's probably going to have to get hit. Actually, we can block with red. Yep, in our way. Boy, do I not love the free spell cycle. Just a thing that didn't need to happen. Alright, so each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, or X is the number of attacking creatures. It'll just 1 at this point, but we are going to take a shot for 5. Forge and Frontier trigger. They hit 2 lands. It's not awful. Plays the landscape. No, plays the other one. I wouldn't with the... Oh. Yeah, Inventor's Fair is pretty good. I assume they already played a land. Yep. Sword of Forge and Frontier, from the little bit of it that I've seen, is it operates a little bit differently than the other swords. Most of the other swords, you're perfectly fine to tap out your mana, casting and equipping them. And then you hit, and then you generate some amount of value, and like whatever happens off the rest of that sword doesn't really like hinge on you having open mana. This one kind of does. So like it gets a little awkward when you tap out. Just something to note with the like kind of the play style of this one. There's a decent sized angel army over there. Angel of Invention, yeah, it's gonna pump the team up more. 3 triggers: Righteous Valkyrie, Seraph Sanctuary, and Angel of Invention. Yep. Fabricate. Wish we still had access to that Fault Line, but yep, Fault Line is gone. This deck has removal light, so that like losing a removal spell in there actually hurts a bit. We got 1, 2, 3 board wipes plus a comeuppance. That's light. That is light. Sean has angered the Angel Army and is about to take a really big punch right here. Ooh, that's some damage. What is that? That's like 8 plus 8, 16? That's a chunk. That is a chunk. Down to 21. If someone has a board wipe, they should definitely play it. Rexiel coming in. Nice. Those 2 look like they'll probably be tangled up with each other, so that'll be good. Let me see. Put a counter on Rexiel, and then you can attack and get a spell. What spells do people have? There's, is it your graveyard? That player's graveyard. Jenka has no spells in graveyard, where Pauper does. We have a Enlightened Tutor, which is like okay. If I were him, I'd probably be thinking about a Jessica's Will or a Deadly Rollick. Even a Read the Bones isn't the worst thing I've ever heard of. Decides to minus the Giada. Oh, becomes a Giada. Okay. Now it's got Flying Vigilance Trample. Okay. And is a 9/7. Gonna send that over to Pauper. Yeah, there's just a lot of beef over here in the air. We can go down to 28. That's a 9 commander, by the way. Brings it back to our turn. We draw planes. That's not the worst thing ever. Mode 3 on our Saga. Gonna hold the land just on the off chance that we hit 2 lands. Doesn't look like any lands we need to shoot currently. There's a probably not about to shoot that Volrath. So we'll equip the sword. Try this again. Hope it doesn't go terribly. I'm pretty sure there's been 1 removal spell this game, and it hit us of all things. Doesn't seem right. Playing Phoenix Tribal, guys. This happened in the last game too. Just got picked apart with removal. I'm like, I'm playing Phoenix Tribal. I don't know what you think. I get that Otharri is strong and like you should blow up Otharri, but like The other stuff in this deck is very tame. A second land here would be good. We really need to ramp. We hit. There's the Forge and Frontier trigger. Land Signet is a sight for sore eyes. So let's play the land, play this land, play the Signet. And I think because we get the +1/+1 counters, I'm going to do... Ooh. So if we cast our commander, we can't leave up Chaos Warp. They have protection from us, basically, so they can just wail away at us. Yeah, it's not, we just got to get our commander in. Got to get a commander. I hope someone's going to play board wipe, is really what's going to happen. Drawing 2 of these is a little awkward. Later in the game, it's fine, but we didn't really ramp. We took a slow hand that didn't ramp, right? And maybe we should have picked up a Soul Ring. I don't know. But if we did that, then we would be running out of cards, and that's not great. Wait a second, did this not get pumped up? Oh, is this targeted? Yeah, it's a targeted effect. So that means that Showdown of the Skalds could not put additional counters on our Phoenix chick, which is disappointing because of the pro-red. Pauper down to 23. Gets themselves a Bitter Blossom token, though. That's like a pretty legit blocker at this point. Yeah, equips the Commander's Plate. It's probably just going to whack us over the head now. Protection from 3 colors. No, 4 colors. Protection from white, blue, red, and green. Everything except black. That's not great. Back our way. No, into the Angel deck. Thank God. We lose a little bit of life. It's a big old shot for 8. Another Forge and Frontier trigger. Goldspan Dragon and Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1. If they do, draw a card. God, we could use that. They cast it. Whenever a creature... So you can do that for each creature? Oh my. That seems crazy with the giant angel army over here. Especially because I got a lot of tokens on the ground, too. I actually like Sean cloning the Giada there because the Vigilance, Flying Vigilance, is legit for this board state. Mask of Memory. They go to combat without equipping it, probably thinking that they can't get it in anywhere. If we were playing in paper, I would have offered them the deal of they can poke me with it, knowing that I might need to poke them to get sword value, and as long as they don't hit me with the big one. That'd be like a deal to offer up. Jenka and Sean seem to have reached an agreement to stop wailing away at each other. That seems totally fair. Most of the big stuff going over to Pauper. Looks like only 4 coming in our direction. 4-3. Yeah, I'm not about to trade that, so we'll just take. Yeah, they blocked 2 of them, but it's still going to be a giant shot. Somehow this triggered. Oh, right, because they hit us. Yep, okay. Pauper's down to 15. They're getting down there. They got a Bitter Blossom in play. Does this thing gain life? It does gain life back, so they have some ability to gain life back. That is very relevant. Yeah, just like a brick wall of vigilance over here. Got all these tokens. The flyers. No, this one's got vigilance. Yeah. Vigilance has never looked this good. It's tough to get attacks in over on this Angel deck. That's a Cauldra complete. Man, we got 2 Voltron decks at the table. That is not ideal. You know, there's a chance he spends all of next turn to equip that to his commander, which might be the turn to get back the Phoenix. What's another? He's trying to whittle this Giada out of play. It doesn't seem to be going all that well. No, never mind. He copies the Giada again. Misstated that. It probably wouldn't do him that much good, but he could copy this Phoenix chick. If he needed haste, like if it died and came back, that's not the worst thing ever. Sends the Rexiel over to Pauper. Leaves this one back. Deadly, yeah, he's got a couple good spells. Oh, that is Sean. I haven't introduced Sean yet, by the way. Sean is piloting his Volrath the Shapestealer deck. I believe this is his Helm's Deep deck. Sort of a theme deck, which is why we have some Krakens in there. He's also got some Helms, namely Helm of the Host. He had, what's the Helm of Awakening? Which is like a super dangerous card to play, but would be very helpful for us, just because, like, our stuff is very expensive. Goes for the Deadly Rollick. What's he want to cast it on? This is not a terrible choice. Giada's not a terrible choice. This isn't a terrible choice either. A lot of good targets. Goes for... Oh, Righteous Valkyrie's also a solid choice. That's going to make the entire team smaller. Or at least, and prevent the life gain. And they're below their starting life right now. You need 7 more. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. This one's pretty nasty too, though. More removal's going to be needed. Well, I guess they have a lot of evasion between these two. But I am sad in the sense that, like... If he shot this one, we'd be able to attack in. They're going to Eerie Interlude. Oh my. Oh yeah, that's all bad news. That is all bad news. I think... No, you lose a lot of counters if you blink this one, but... Yeah, that's bad news. That is a bad news. I'll feel a lot better if we can find a comeuppance. Yep, they come back and triggers a lot of stuff. It's a lot of life gain. Life gain plus card draw, 3 instances of 1 life, and 2 Righteous Valkyrie triggers. That's a lot of value. And now their entire team's untapped. Probably not getting in over there. Oh my god, they are giant. This one's a 9-8. That one's a 6-5. Yep, they are all huge. Oh boy. And they're at 48. Bloodthirst Phoenix, huh? Oh god, 6 mana. Really needed that Urza's Incubator, but we needed other things too. We really don't have... I mean, it's gotta be Pauper. It's the only place we can get in. We can get 1 token. It's gonna get eaten anywhere it goes, but we can put it to Sean, I guess. It's gonna kill our token. Got a little bit of lifelink on here. Gaining 5 back is very solid, but our board state is not conducive to surviving very long. Phyrexia Germ. Oh, yeah, okay. That's the Cauldra Exile ability. Forge and Frontier trigger. Need something big. Land Herald's Horn is fine. Play the land. At least we're ramping. Play the Herald's Horn. This would come in as a 6-6, which isn't the worst thing ever. Choosing Phoenix. We actually have no blockers right now, but I think we're better off leaving up Chaos Warp. Yeah, because I mean, like, the board kind of just needs to get wiped. Like, I don't really know how we survive short of that. Pauper's kind of getting it from all sides. I feel bad, but they do have... this is mildly threatening. Commander's Plate plus Forge and Frontier is protection from 4 colors, is what that is. This is very nasty. Let's see what he wants to do. Into the Angel deck. Gets trigger, gains a little life back, drains us. Gix and a Forge of Frontier trigger. 16 Commander. So, I mean, these two probably need to kill each other because Pauper's on low life and Jenka, I mean, they both kind of have lethal on each other. So, Morog. He has a land drop. Oh, he could take the Angel deck down. Landfall? Well, that would solve a lot of problems. Create some new ones. We haven't really been in anyone's sights for the most part, which is nice. Wow, he still has enough to cast that Feast and Famine afterwards, too. Oh, I just noticed something. If he keeps hitting lands with the Morog or with the Forge and Frontier, that's, like, actually kind of a problem. Because it says an additional, right? Yeah, you may play an additional, so every time it stacks, you can play another land. Actually a problem. Yeah, there's another Forge and Frontier, and there's the Gix trigger. Oh, what do we Chaos Warp? Jenka goes down. That's 26 commander damage. I think we Chaos Warp the Morog right now. He has feelings. To Bolt's Trickery. What do we hit? Truth and Justice is not the worst thing I've ever seen. It does keep this loop going, though. And that's kind of a problem. We need to pray... Oh, no, it doesn't create extra main phases. Okay. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. I thought that created a loop for a second. Let's read the old Morog. Yep. After the main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Yeah, this one doesn't create an additional main phase. If it did, it could theoretically, probably not infinite, but as long as you keep hitting lands, you could have a lot of combats. But that is not the way it works. Overwhelm. Creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. They're giant. I think we're going to be on the hook for some damage here. I mean, I think we're really looking at like Austere Command or Comeuppance. Blasphemous Act would be okay. Ooh, he can copy the Morog. Does he have a land play? Don't know. Rexiel in at Pauper. Other one our way. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of life. Swamp Walk going to get him. Good old Rexiel Swamp Walk. If he saved that Deadly Rollick, he'd still be alive. He'd probably die to us, but, you know. Yeah, I think he really got antsy with the Deadly Rollick. If it were a Feast, I mean, yeah, I guess you can't shoot it if it's a Feast and Famine because the Pro Black, but, like, if you're trying to stop a Feast and Famine trigger, I get it, but, like, Origin Frontier is fine. I think it's, like, it's probably on par with Mask of Memory, give or take, maybe slightly stronger if you hit the lands the right way, but has a lot more variance to it. Sean's at 17. I mean, there is actually a world where we could find 17 damage and just one-shot him, but he's going to copy the Morog. Oh, I hope he doesn't have a land play. And I think he just drew a card. Pauper goes down. Ah, there's the land play. Crap. That is lethal. Disappointing. Got stuck with all the 6-drops. Yeah, that's not how you want it to go. There's a few of them, but, like, I don't know. We just kind of got unlucky there. I mean, really, I think a lot of it came down to him shooting that first trigger, right? Because that kind of just put all of our ramp behind, and then we had to do more stuff to kind of get going, and Yeah, the deck probably still needs to be tightened up a little bit. Like, I'm trying to keep the creature count high. I'm not I want to be able to run these things, but like, if those 3 cards were removal spells, we probably win the game, right? Like that's the thing. But it's it's the goal of trying to make the deck work, and sadly, it just didn't really pan out. Game went okay. We got to see a couple of the cheap ones. Sad we never got that one back, but a lot of problems associated with just not ramping. We needed to ramp better. And maybe we go for the Soul Ring early on, but then we didn't really have any follow-up card draw. So, I don't know. Maybe the deck still needs more card draw. Got Wheel of Fortune, thinking about Wheel of Misfortune also. So if you get a bad hand like the one we had, you're just like, okay, I need something fresh because this isn't getting it done. Yeah, so probably a little more tinkering to go still with this deck. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. You know what this game came down to? The game came down to we didn't start ramping until, I don't know, turn 6 or something like that. And when you have a deck full of creatures that are kind of overcosted, that's a big problem. Which also means, like, probably a Mana Geyser. I've been putting Mana Geyser on everything these days. I'm trying to, like, not necessarily do that all the time. But I think it's probably necessary. The other thing, too, is if you, like, with some of the ritual stuff, if you can get Sunbird's Invocation in early and get a couple spells with that, that's the type of thing that can win you a game. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.